Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Saturday's edition of Shagalinko TV. It's a special edition because we'll be talking to two wonderful young people, and they'll be sharing with us a National Youth Summit that is coming up shortly, and how people can join, register, and all of that. But today we're also looking at youth development. What ways can we build the capacity of young people, or what ways can we begin to build the capacity of young people? I know a lot of times you watch social media or the TV and all of that, you see a whole lot of capacity building, youth empowerment going on, and all of that. Is that enough? Is there things, or are there things we can do better to improve the lives of young people? Like they say, young people form the basic crop of any society, whether in terms of education, empowerment, finance, and all of that. We need to start building that capacity for the future, not just for the future, but for the now. We're streaming live on two destinations on our Shagalenko TV YouTube page and our Shagalenko Facebook page. So you could drop your comments there. Do let us know where you're watching from right now. If you have comments or questions for our guests, do let us know as well and drop it on the comment section and we'll pop it up on the screen and they will read. I have two very vibrant young people here. Janet Thomas, she's a member content team Nkporo National Youth Summit in Umuahia, and I have Ogba Ejike. He's the media team lead in Lagos, and together we'll be rubbing minds on for the next couple of minutes. Okay, so they say ladies first, Ejike. So be a good gentleman, and let's start with Janet. Janet, how are you doing? And welcome to the show.
I'm doing great. Thank you very much. And I'm happy
Okay,
to be here.
yeah, welcome. So I'll quickly ask how are preparations going for the National Youth Summit?
Preparation is going on very well. All our guests are ready and they can't wait to come and deliver. The venue is set. The volunteers are set. All the units are ready. So everything is going well.
Wow, wow. Okay. Ejike, how are you doing? And how are you also preparing? Because I hear there is the Umuahia version and then there is the Lagos. Lagos is hosting as well. So how are preparations?
Okay, good afternoon. We've done a lot of work so far, just like rightly said, we've been able to put things in place just to make sure that we achieve the aim we've set for ourselves. Basically, we've done everything we need to do, though we've not really gotten 100%. But then we are sure and ready for the conference proper, and we are good. The spirit is high. We're in high spirit at this point,
Yeah,
waiting for the
yeah.
day for the event.
The ginger is up. Okay. I'll come back to Janet now. Yeah, thank you so much, Ejike. Or should I call you Lancet? Which one do you want? Um, would you prefer
Anyone,
Ejike or your
anyone,
English
sir. I can
name?
anyone, sir.
Oh, okay,
Anyone you
okay.
prefer, sir.
Oh, okay. So for our viewers watching right now, do drop your comments. What you think about youth development, ways you think we can improve and empower the lives of young people. I'll start with Janet. In your view, has the government done enough? And that's why I'm really happy and passionate about the National Youth Summit because every time we talk about what the government needs to do, but people don't also talk about the little quota they should contribute. And that was why I was so excited about this National Youth Summit coming up. So, in your view, has the government done enough?
We all know how the state of this country is. And we know, everybody knows that the government, they are doing some things, but is not 100%. There are still some things we think that they should do. Like few hours ago, I came onto this show. I was reading something online about Nasarawa youth empowerment. So they trained some youth on agribusiness. That was 14 years ago. But up till now, the youth have not received the empowerment to start up the business we are trained for. So at this point now, we can see that the government has not fully fulfilled the promise or the promise they made to this youth. So for these youth now, what are they going to do? Are they just going to sit down and fold their hands, waiting for the government to empower them? The government has done 50%. They may not have done up to 100% that the youth were expecting. So I believe that at this point, they can start from where they are. I say this also, I believe that every Nigerian youth will benefit from this. The little that the government has been able to do for us, we appreciate them. And as we are still hoping that they will do more, the little one we can do for ourselves, we should start from where we are while waiting to grow. So that is what I have to say in this case. The government have not done 100%, but we should capitalize on the little that they have done and put in our own effort instead of folding our hands and waiting for the 100% that they have not
Mm, it's a brilliant one, Janet. Thank you so much. I'll come back to Ejike. I want to get your view on this, and then I'll come back to Janet to tell us more about what people should expect about the Nkporo National Youth Summit. So, Ejike, judging from your advice, I must say kudos to your governor, the governor of Lagos State, because we see a lot of things. Yes, like Janet said, the government can do everything. Yeah, they are also saddled with a whole lot of other things. But kudos to the governor in Lagos because he's like a pest setter. He does a lot of things, and it may not be 100%, but then nothing like when one is in emotion to do things. So, do you think the government generally, not just for maybe governor of Lagos or other states, the federal, the state, and the others, have they done enough? And what do you think they can do better?
Okay, thank you very much. The truth is, in as much as we've not really gotten what we need as young people when it comes to empowerment, I think first thing first, we need to first of all get the young people, get our mind right. Because it's another thing to give somebody empowerment, it's another thing for the person to do something with that empowerment. So when young people don't have the right information to utilize whatever opportunity individuals, corporate organizations, or the government is giving, we will not be able to get the result out of it. So coming back to your question, I think government in their own little capacity, they are trying though, but then we are not there yet because the kind of empowerment we are getting, it's like just giving somebody something just to make a name for yourself, then you move. We are not really getting the right empowerment as young people. That's the truth. We are not. So I think when we get the information to young people, give them the right information, you see that empowerment is easier like that. Just like this summit we are going to hold. The major aim of this summit is to, change the mindset of young people. Because if you check very well, our mindset is just basically to get something we need for now, get now, eat now, then look for another opportunity to get again and squander. So when we get the right mindset to think for the future, because one person said it's not enough to create a future for people, but it's also better for you to create the people for the future. So I think governments, they are doing the little they can, but then they are not doing the right empowerment. They're not giving the right empowerment to young people. That's my take, basically.
Okay. Thank you so much, AJK. Okay, in case you just joined us, this is the Saturday's edition of Shagalinko TV, and my name is Ambassador Emmanuel Gabari. If you're watching us right now, would like to know where you're watching us from, do send us a comment. Drop a comment on the message box. It will pop up on the screen, and our guests can read them. If you have questions for them on how you can be part of the program, maybe to be a participant and how you can join, do also do all that. And please, if you're watching right now, do share the video, share the link right now so that others can join and watch. Nkporo National Youth Summit is coming up in a couple of days from now, and that's why we're having Janet and Ejike to talk more about that. They'll be telling you everything you need to know about how you can join in all of that. Do also let us know where you're watching us from. And the videos will be here after the program, so you can still watch, you can share. We're streaming live on two destinations on YouTube and also on Facebook, and it's Shagalinko TV. Okay, thank you. We just saw Oladipupo Babatunde shared the video. He's in Lagos. Thank you so much. So for everyone watching, please share the video. Drop your comments on what you think and ways you think we can build the capacity of young people. We're looking at young people today, and sometimes people say the government is not doing enough. Sometimes we feel also that corporate bodies, individuals can also assist, philanthropists and all of that. We can't leave everything in the hands of the government. Okay, let me ask Janet now to tell us more about this whole summit. Janet, you are in Umuahia right now, so and I'm happy. I can't wait to see everyone in Umuahia. So tell us more about the Nkporo National Youth Summit. What brought about it, and how are you even coping? Some people saw the flyers and they were asking me, "We can't come to Umuahia, but how do we join online? This is beautiful and all of that." So I hope you have a big stage that will contain everyone. Go on, Janet.
All right, thank you very much. The Nkporo National Youth Summit, like you said, happen in two different places, Umuahia and Lagos. Umuahia will start on 24th and end on 25th, and then the Lagos Summit will start on 26th. So if you're in the southeast, if you're in Abia State, Enugu, we are arranging transportation for those that are coming from some places, especially if you're a student. So if you're a student in any of the tertiary education, just get in touch with your student government president, okay? They'll give you more information concerning the transportation. You have free transportation if you're in the university, wherever you're coming from, within the southeast. Then for those in Lagos, the venue for the Lagos Summit is Triple C Event Center, Sapo, Yaba, Lagos. And for Umuahia, it is the International Conference Center, Umuahia. And for those that cannot attend physically, you can also join us online. We're going to be streaming to YouTube and to Facebook. Our Facebook page is Nkporo National Youth Summit. So please go and join, go and like the page, follow us, so that on that day you can be able to see everything that is happening that day will be streamed, okay? Then the theme of this summit is Nkporo Youth Summit for Sustainable Community Development. That's the theme. And then, like I said before, it will be happening starting from 24th to 26th. 24th and 25th is for Umuahia, and then 26th is for Lagos. And it's going to be streamed online, both YouTube and Facebook. So please like our Facebook page, follow us on Nkporo National Youth Summit on Facebook, and you're going to participate online in everything that we're going to be doing.
Okay, thank you so much. So, Ejike, we also learned that the bus will take the team straight on to Lagos, and then after the whole brainstorming and summit and rubbing of minds in Umuahia, it will move to Lagos. How prepared are you guys now? So far, so good. What do you think people should be expecting? Just like Janet has told us about that. I like the part where Janet talked about the transport, because a lot of times young people complain in attending some of these programs. I don't get transport, so even when we know that they put recharge cards on their phone to call their girlfriends or boyfriends. But when it comes to things that will develop their minds, they will tell you they don't have money. A boy can save up money and travel from the east to Lagos to visit his girlfriend during Valentine, but just tell him, come and attend a program that will change his life. He will not give you story. So what is in place too, maybe for students and all of that?
Okay, just like what you just mentioned, when you have a better understanding of your life and the information you want to access, you giving everything within your power just to have the right information, and that's why the summit is coming. Then asking about our preparedness, the thing is, It's one team organizing for Umuahia and Lagos. So we are not separated. It's just one team, sir. So we've done virtually the things we need to do, just like Janet rightly said. Even if you are not going to be present that day, we are streaming online. So just get your data ready and access all the conversation from the comfort of your home. Then, if you look at our speakers, you know that these are men and women that have done a lot in their choosing career and field. We are not it's not going to be like normal conference where it's just going to be one-sided. No, it's going to be a conversation kind of, because it's easier for you to know how to redirect someone when you listen to the person. Most times when we attend conferences, our speakers will just stand up there and dish out information based on what they know. But this one is going to be different in the sense that we are going to, interact. So the audience will tell you, this is what it is happening with me. Then it's easier for our speakers to know how to redirect that person. If the person is into business, is an entrepreneur, or the person is, venturing into academics and all of that, it's easier for our speakers to say, okay, this is how you're going to do it. This is what you need to do. This is the kind of information you need. Just like you are in the media space, there are people that, they are admiring and they want to venture into media too. So it's easier for you to tell them this is what you do, because we are millennials. So the kind of information available to our older people is not the same thing with us. So that's why this conversation we are going to have, this summit, is very, very important, and it's coming at the right time because there are a lot of things going on with young people, and this is going to be a mind shift. It's going to shift our mind because people act based on the information that is available to them. So we are going to have a lot of profitable information being shared among the young people, which will help them run in whatever field they choose. So that is
Thank you very much for that, Ejike. I'll come back to Janet now. And for our viewers, please drop your comments and we'll read it here. I know we have a lot of viewers across the ocean, viewers who sometimes it's night in their locality now and they wake up to watch these videos and also drop their comments later. But yeah, if you are able to watch us now from Philippines, from London, from US, you can drop your comments now and or later, but we'll always pass it across to guests to respond. Now, Janet, I'm particular about the girl child empowerment, the girl child development, because when we talk about youth development, and even when we talk about development generally, women and girls are always left behind. It's a two-step jump for a lady in anything, even in career. A woman has to work several times harder to prove herself. The cliche is that a woman who gets to the top is that she rode her way to the top, and then a man gets to the top, nothing happens. They say, it's hard work. How do we also begin to encourage young girls, especially for students? If I always say that if our mothers or our fathers have failed, the younger generations could learn lessons from them and then pick up from there. So, what should young girls who are students right now begin to do? So, we have more of the likes of Ngozi Iweala, we have the likes of the American Vice President. What do you think about that?
Oh, thank you very much. That is a very, very important question. I believe that the best gift you can give to any girl in this generation is education. Female education is highly underrated, especially in the African continent and in Nigeria. So some people actually believe that when you train a man or a boy, you can go ahead and become something in future. But when you train a girl, she'll end up getting married, going to her husband's house to get children, and that is the end. But if we must see people like Dr. Mrs. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala right now, You know that she wouldn't have gotten to where she is now if she wasn't educated. So the primary thing we should be targeting right now is encourage parents to send their female wards and children to school, and then encourage the girls to stay in school. Because if they can see the importance of education, if they know that education is the passport out of poverty, then I am sure they will be encouraged to pursue, no matter how difficult it is right now, no matter who is, no matter the condition, no matter the obstacles they are seeing right now, the benefits far outweigh whatever it is they are going through. So I believe the singular most important female empowerment you can give to any girl right now is to send the girl to school. Encourage her to remain in school. Encourage her to go as high as she can. That is what I believe every girl in
Yeah.
this generation is here.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. I'll come back again and ask you a few more things about the Nkporo National Youth Summit. But in case you just joined us now, this is the Saturday's edition of Shagalinko TV, and it's a special edition because we're looking at youth development and what ways we can build the capacity of young people. I particularly asked Janet that because a lot of times young girls are really being left behind when it comes to issues. Not to even talk about women, women are sometimes marginalized in places of education, economy, and all of that. So I'll bring Ejike in now and also ask him a few more questions about the whole incident. Ejike, there's a rise in gender-based violence. Um, a whole lot of teenage pregnancy is going on. And sometimes I tell people that we work with an organization called Men Engage Africa, where we teach men on positive masculinity. Because, who is the one violating these girls? Who is the one impregnating these girls? These girls don't get pregnant by themselves. And it's alarming the rate at which you hear of rape, 3 months old, 10 years old. Sometimes people make excuses for rapists and say it's the way girls are dressed. And I ask them, so the old woman of 90 years that was raped and the baby of 3 months that was raped, how were they dressed, and all of that. So how do we also begin to make men accountable and be responsible to begin to respect young girls and women?
Okay, thank you. The reason why I'm smiling is because these are issues I've dealt with in the past. I'm still dealing with. I have I've done projects with organizations both locally and internationally concerning this issue of gender-based violence and sex abuse and all of that. The first thing first is this: most of these people, if you check, because I carried out the sensitization to secondary schools, and I had to find out that most of these young people were molested growing up. So this is as a result of the molestation they went through. And nobody, the funny thing is, nobody paid attention to these young boys. I'll use myself as an example. Growing up, I got molested at a tender age. And when I try to have that conversation with people, there's this didn't you enjoy it kind of attitude I got. So because of that, within myself, I now decided that, okay, if this is what it is, I'm going to retaliate in my own way. I choose to. So, but then along the line, I had to have a better understanding now of how life works and all of that. I had a rethink. So I changed that mindset. But then, what of those that cannot? What happens? So the issue is, you need to go back to the roots. Society, family, school, and every other actors that are working in the gender space. We need to have a balanced information for both male and female. Because if somebody comes to tell you it's because of how the person dressed, that's what, no. The thing has to do with, it has a psychological aspect. Because when somebody is being violated at tender age, there's every tendency that the person will do same, whether girl or boy. Funny thing is, in this our society, we don't really believe that men or boys can be molested, and we don't take it serious. Even when you report to police, there's this attitude you get. So that have made a lot of guys to just hold back, then plot their own move. I think I was in a radio station when I told them what we are getting now is a revenge trip, and more is coming if nothing is done about it. And they were looking at me, what is this person talking about? I told them that if you check, if you have 100 boys, 75 of them have been molested growing up, maybe by house help, by aunts, by neighbor, or whoever. The same thing goes with girls too. So it's something we need to look at. So when that boy or girl comes to report, maybe they have been violated, you need to pay attention, take action. It will give that person confidence that somebody is listening to me, somebody cares, somebody is willing to pay attention. Until we start having that kind of society, we are yet to see the worst. Sorry to say, we are yet to see the worst, because it will keep happening.
Yeah.
Then
Okay.
I hear when okay, so
Go
that's
on, go
what it
on.
is.
Just finish up. Mm.
Okay. Even now, concerning the girl child, I also run programs on sexual and reproductive health, not just for the girls, but for the both gender. The truth is, if you check who is giving this girl pregnant, who getting them pregnant is the guys. So who is opening legs for the guys is the girls. So until they have the right information, because if we keep shouting abstain, abstain, yes, abstain is the best option, but what happens when they are not abstaining? So you need to give them information. Even if they are not abstaining, then they need to practice safe sex. That's where safe sex comes in. Safe sex, and that has to do with sexual and reproductive health. So safe sex, it has to do with contraceptive, use of condom, and every other thing that will help them, not just for to prevent pregnancy, also to prevent transmission of diseases and all of that. HIV is there, STI is there, STD is there, and other infection that can even stop the person from conceiving, growing up. So it's going to be a whole education kind of thing. Because for me, going to school doesn't really mean the person is educated. So that's where we get it mixed up. Going to school is different from being educated. So until we understand that education has to do with a lot of things, just like when you are graduating from school, they will not tell you after reading all night, after understanding and passing your exam. No, they will first of all tell you after finding wording in character. So when it comes to education, it has to do with character, every other thing in between, before they even talk about your results. So that's my take on that, sir.
Okay. Let me bring Janet now. We're wrapping up shortly, so I'd like you to use the next 5 minutes shared amongst two of you, between two of you, to tell us finally what the preparations are for the summit. Now, I'd also like to ask Janet. So, what are some of the things we should be expecting? Are there focus for women? I'm particular. I'm passionate about girl child education. So I am always biased about it. So everything I do, first thing I ask is women and children, how are they included? And they're like, ah, but you're a man now, you shouldn't be doing all this. It's strange and all of that because you know, voiceless, and Ejike has also said it, because when we shy away from some of these things, we always scream, abstinence, abstinence. I tell some mothers, if you know what your children are doing behind you, you will just think, you just hit your chest and say, my children are good, my this. Just tell them these things because the things you don't tell them, they will go outside and learn it in the wrong way. We are so
Yeah.
emotional when it comes to some things, and then we have this mindset that our children are good, or now the other people won't spoil. So, Janet, as we wrap up now, what else should we be looking out for at the National Youth Summit?
Wow, this summit is loaded, like I told you before. So, first of all, we'll be having the official unveiling of the summit by the Deputy Governor of Abia State, Right Honorable Ude Okochukwu. And then we'll be having our keynote speaker by Chief Jackson today. That is the keynote address, I mean. Then we have lectures ranging from education, culture, and how it affects community development. That will be taken by Dr. Anya Egu, then public health and community development. We also have Nigerian youth and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So if you are interested in anything about United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, Nigerian youth, I'm sure that this one everybody will benefit from it, both the male and the female. Then we also have industrialization, job creation, and exploring opportunities within the agricultural sector. So you can see every sector in the economy is represented in this summit. We also have some Austin Chibiki. And then we have the youth and how they can assist community development. Our speaker for that is Mr. Ikenna. Then we also have somebody that talking about political participation. Now, we see that some of our youth believe that politics is a dirty game, and so many of them shy away from anything politics. So we are going to be having someone who is going to be exposing everything you need to know about politics as a young person and how you can participate in it. Then we are having so many speakers, like this summit is loaded. And apart from that, there will be opportunity for some entrepreneurs to get grants. There will be opportunities for students to get scholarships. There will be opportunities for people to get all-round funded trips to Dubai this year. Everything will be happening in this summit. So you can see this is not a summit you want to miss. If it's possible, come physically and participate. But if you cannot, join us online. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Janet. Let me end up now with Ejike. Are there breakout sessions? Are there group discussions? I know the crowd will be huge, but like you said, in most conferences, the speaker just stands there and talk. They don't find time to also interact, even within the participants to brainstorm and all of that. So would there be breakout sessions where participants will be shared into different groups or take up thematic areas and brainstorm there, and then maybe they get a group leader who comes to make a presentation and all of that. So as we wrap up, Ejike, what would you have to say?
Okay, there will be a time for networking. There will be a breakout section, actually. That's the time for networking, and there will be lunch pack for participants. So the thing is, how this thing is going to be, even me, I can't even imagine, because it's one of its kind in this part of the world. Because the conferences we've been attending is just speakers come and speak and go, but this one is going to be participatory, because everybody is going to be involved. So there will be answer and question section too, where participants will also ask questions, where then speakers will respond. There's also a panel discussion. You know how it is, panel discussion, participants will ask questions, then the panelists will respond. Then after the first day is conference, then the second day is going to be a town hall meeting kind of, where we need to come together and brainstorm on how to move our community forward. That part is very, very important, and it's vital for community development, because during that conversation, that's where we will know the way forward for us as a people. They say charity begins at home. So from that conversation, you can use it to plan for the community for the next 5 or 10 years to come. That's how development happens. Development don't just happen just like that. No, you need to plan it. So just like you do budgeting and planning for government, that's the same way we are going to do as a community, because we need to move forward. So having this information, it will help us to, change our orientation, change our attitude, change basically everything about us as a people. Then there's something Jenny missed out. There's public health. And this public health, when it talks about public health, sexual and reproductive health, everything that has to do with health will be involved. So we are going to take time to talk about it. And also this affects women and girls. So that's what it is, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. I like Janet to in our final words now. Who would you like to greet? What's your final word? I know I will bring you guys again maybe after the program so that we can evaluate the summit and chant what way forward because um, I know the organizers are also going to be monitoring and following up on participants to make sure that what they learned over time in the summit, they still keep it on, Yeah. So it's not just enough to bring people together. Some just leave the participants like that. A year or two later, nobody's checking. But with the crop of people I've seen, I know there will be like way forward participants also being urged to go back and do step down training for their people. So I know I'll bring you again maybe at the end of October or middle of October to see what worked well, what ways we can make it work better next time, and all of that. So, what's your final words as you wrap up?
Okay. My final words are you've seen everything we've outlined for this summit. So if you can make it physically, that will be awesome. But if you cannot, please join us online. And I would also like to appreciate His Royal Majesty, Dr. P.O. Ogba. He has been very instrumental to make sure that this summit will be a success. So I want to appreciate him. And I also want to appreciate our sponsor, Chief Jackson Odey. He has been a pillar in the community. He's a man that is passionate about youth development. So I really want to thank him for sponsoring this summit. I want to thank Mr. Anthony Umuahia, who is the head of the committee. He has been working around the clock to make sure that everything we need is put in place. I want to thank all the committee members, and I want to thank especially the youth leaders. Some weeks ago, I was among those that was privileged to go around the different community youth meetings, to create awareness for this event. And really, the reception we got from these youth leaders was really amazing. So I want to appreciate them and thank all the young and youth leaders who are making sure that they pull people to this summit. And to you that I'll be expecting to see on the 24th, on the 25th, and on the 26th, I want to thank you in advance. Thank you.
Okay. So, Ejike, who would you like to say your words of appreciation to, and what will be your final words as we also wrap up?
Basically, I want to thank the visionary Chief Jackson the Odozi Obodo one. In English, Odozi Obodo means somebody that puts things together, somebody that makes things happen in a good way. That's what Odozi Obodo means. His Royal Majesty, he has been he's a father. He's a father, and he's been acting in that role. Chief Anthony Ogba, that guy he's great, and every team member who have been working tirelessly making sure that this project is actualized. I want to appreciate every one of us. We've done well. These are people we've not met, but the way we've been able to do a lot of things, it's shocking. I want to appreciate everyone for putting in their energy, time, and resources. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel, for having us. I really appreciate you. I know we'll do a lot moving forward. As you can see, I'm even wearing the t-shirt for the summit. So
I hope
thank
I will
you.
get mine. I hope I will get one of those t-shirts. Okay.
I will try and make that.
Oh, okay, okay. That's the size of the program today. I want to thank everyone who joined us. The topic has been youth development. What ways can we build the capacity of young people? And I've been talking with two very vibrant young people, talking about Janet something Thomas. She's a member, content team, Nkporo National Youth Summit in Umuahia, and we have Ogba Ejike. the media team lead all the way from Lagos, talking more about everything about the upcoming National Youth Summit that we're holding in Umuahia on the 24th, 25th, and then in Lagos on the 26th, I guess. Yeah, and find time to join. If you are in the Eastern Axis, um, Umuahia will be fine for you. And then if you are in the other part of our brothers, Lagos will be another one for you. So no excuse is allowed. You can also go online. I will be bringing you more details on Shagalinku. If possible, we'll also be giving out the links later on within the week for those of you to join the link and also register if there's still valuable quick opportunities for late entries. We'll be sharing some of those details as the day gets closer and give you all you need to know. Thanks to everyone who joined. The videos are still here. You can watch it on YouTube and on Facebook, and then you can share the videos. A lot of times we get more comments even after the program when our viewers from other parts of the world wake up to watch. And thanks for everyone who joined us. Once again, thanks to my guests, Janet and Ejike. See you guys soon, God willing. And to everyone, God bless you all for finding time to join us. We'll do this program again on Tuesday for a fresh edition, fresh topic, and fresh guests. And like I said, I'll be bringing Ejike and Janet again, maybe next month, to share the experience, how it was for them at the Nkporo National Youth Summit. My name is Ambassador Emmanuel Gabari, urging you to have a beautiful Saturday. And remember, stay safe, stay blessed, and God bless you all. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye.